On behalf of the Pakistan Navy, we would like to welcome you to the premier edition of the Pakistan International Maritime Expo and Conference, the PIMEC 2023. This is being co-organized by the Pakistan Navy under the patronage of the Ministry of Maritime Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, water is essentially life. 70% of our body is water, and these mammoth bodies, the seas, the ocean, they connect the humanity to be one large indifferent commune. And that is why if one part of us, one community, one country is under distress, it causes pain and heartache to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin the PIMEC 2023, we'd first like to offer our deepest condolences for those who have lost their lives and their loved ones to the devastating earthquakes in Turkey. Pakistan stands in solidarity and compassion with Turkey and Syria in these trying times. May those who are under treatment get well soon. May help reach the soonest. Our prayers, our thoughts, and our heart is with them. Let us observe a minute of silence to pray and honor for their memory. Jazakallah khairan. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to PIMEC 2023. Pakistan is an important maritime nation in the Indian Ocean, blessed with approximately 1,120 kilometers of coastline, rich exclusive economic zone, 240,000 square kilometers of continental shelf. Pakistan has a rich but untapped blue potential in the maritime sector for fueling economic growth and alleviating poverty. But like many ocean nations, oceans are reaching a tipping point and are under threat on many fronts, from overfishing to marine pollution to coastline erosion, all of which are exacerbated by the climate change. Healthy oceans provide for jobs, food, economic growth is actually driven by them, and they of course keep the planet cool too. So a break from business as usual is required. With this vision and this ideology, ladies and gentlemen, PIMEC 2023 has been put forth in full force. Today, as we see, the public and the private sectors are here to display products and to actually provide solutions to mitigate the problems and challenges we are facing today. The event will also highlight Pakistan's maritime potential and provide the desired fillip for economic growth at a national and international level. I'm thankful to our worthy audience and participants for sparing their valuable time and for participating so overwhelmingly in our maiden event. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I would now like to invite Rear Admiral Mia Zakirullah Jan, 𝐏𝐈𝐌𝐿𝐿 Military, Commander Karachi, for his welcome address.
Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Admiral Amjad Khan Niazi, 𝐏𝐈𝐌𝐿𝐿 Military, Sitare Basalat, Chief of the Naval Staff, Provincial Minister, Chief Minister Sindh, visiting delegates, scholars, and experts on maritime affairs, valued exhibitors, media personnel, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. On behalf of Pakistan Navy and Ministry of Maritime Affairs, it is an honor for me to welcome you all in the opening ceremony of first Pakistan International Maritime Expo and Conference, dubbed as PIMEC 2023. I express my profound gratitude to our esteemed guests from different countries, representing almost all parts of the globe, for being here with us to participate and mark the PIMEC 2023, a mutually beneficial event. Ladies and gentlemen, before Pakistan's independence, Dr. Allama Iqbal, in his address of 1930 at Allahabad, and Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah during his interaction with Mr. Rustam Kausji, owner of the then only shipping company in India in 1946, had stressed upon realization of maritime sector. And accordingly, drawing strength from the founding fathers' vision, soon after independence, Pakistan made early strides in the maritime economy. But the momentum could not be sustained due to the lack of desired focus. However, with the growth of geoeconomics as a central theme in the national security policy of Pakistan, and at a time when there has been a new surge of militarization and power politics, development of blue economy within a secure and cooperative framework has become imperative for the economy of Pakistan. A need was therefore felt to realign ourselves with the foundational maritime visions, and accordingly, Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Pakistan Navy jointly thought of a course alignment by way of reinvigorating the maritime strategic path through PIMEC. A concise look at the global sea-centric picture suggests that existing contribution of maritime sector to global economy is about $1.5 trillion, which is expected to be doubled in size by 2030, implying that Pakistan must pay attention to the sea, which it most rightly deserves. And therefore, it is a moment of pride for Pakistan Navy and Ministry of Maritime Affairs to host this maiden mega event, essentially meant to raise awareness amongst national stakeholders and international fraternity about the largely untapped but huge potential of Pakistan's blue economy. Ladies and gentlemen, PIMEC is a step towards that realization and would include Maritime Exhibition and Conference, bringing the industrial and intellectual side of the blue economy, both locals as well as foreigners, under one roof. This is a unique attempt and effort of its kind since independence and is intended to be one of the international rendezvous of entrepreneurs, research and development specialists, financial experts, and policymakers. It will accordingly provide excellent opportunity to develop better understanding and recognition, establish networking for joint venture, and most importantly, seeking affordable solution of the challenges being faced by the maritime industry. It is heartening to inform that 142 exhibitors, including 22 foreign firms and 32 international delegates from 12 countries, are participating in PIMEC event, which indicates an overwhelming interest toward reaping the benefit of our blue economy. I may like to mention here that PIMEC 2023 is being conducted in tandem with multinational exercise Aman, which provides an opportunity to over 122 delegates from 50 navies to witness the PIMEC event. The exhibitors will therefore interact with large number of local and international attendees, including officials from navies across the globe. Distinguished guests, PIMEC will include maritime exhibition, business to business and business to government meetings, signing of MOUs, and media interactions. In parallel, the PIMEC conference part, that is International Maritime Conference 2023, spearheaded by National Institute of Maritime Affairs, has also been organized on the theme Embracing Blue Economy, Challenges and Opportunities for Developing Countries. The IMC, thematically distributed under 4 sessions, will cover 27 papers by national and international speakers of repute. The intellectual discourse during IMC, in my view, would pave the way for identification of a strategic direction that we need to take to benefit from the sea while protecting this invaluable resource for the future of our children. I hope the participants and attendants both would benefit tremendously From the papers and towards the end, National Institute of Maritime Affairs would be able to frame the key takeaways for our maritime policy. Ladies and gentlemen, with its massive maritime zone of nearly 290,000 square kilometers, more than 1,000 kilometer coastline, and 880 square kilometer coastal belt, Pakistan has numerous living and non-living resources, large swaths of untapped beaches, and enormous potential for renewable energy sources. From another angle, if one simply looks at the geographic orientation, Pakistan maritime zones are comparatively larger than the available user land hinterland. This is one of the prime factors based on which PIMEC would afford a forum for investors, researchers, analysts, and students to explore deeper and find several opportunities in the vast available maritime arena. The domain that has thus far remained under shadow of agrarian and land-based industrial direction. Here I would like to suggest to the government to consider significantly incentivizing investors in the maritime sector to secure the future of our generation and bright the prospects of prosperity of our motherland. Distinguished guests, PIMEC all in all would endeavor figuring out a strategic vision that could harness sea-based economy into our overall economic construct. The government of Pakistan has rightly understood to divert its policy gaze towards the sea while intensifying efforts to address pervasive sea blindness. Forums such as PIMEC, in my opinion, would assure the investor to put their money in the sea-based business that will not just bring them long-term advantages, but also help propel Pakistan's course towards realizing the blue economy goals. Ladies and gentlemen, before winding up, allow me to briefly touch upon the response to why PIMEC now. To respond, I believe we as a nation is at inflection point and have far too long kept the sea as our backyard, thinking that the land alone carry panacea for all our problems. While it does carry the solution for most, if we make a strategic reorientation, make sea as our front yard, and integrate land-based economy with blue economy, we can have a $1 trillion GDP before the end of a decade. So therefore, I consider PIMEC to be an event representing a point of inflection in our nation's history, and if it goes on and captured successfully, we would be witnessing a tremendous addition to our economy in the future. At the end, I once again thank the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs for sparing his valuable time and gracing the occasion as chief guest. I wish and pray that the foundation of PIMEC laid today will greatly benefit our beloved country. I thank you all.
Thank you, sir. As the Honorable Commander Karachi has already comprehensively alluded on the vision and the idea of PIMEC, ladies and gentlemen, it is also important to note that more than half of the world's population lives near a coastline, primarily due to the proximity of maritime transportation. This puts an immense pressure on the coastal environments and makes communities very vulnerable. They are vulnerable to the rising sea levels, increasing frequency and severity of storms due to climate change, and therefore mitigating and adapting to these realities is crucial to maintaining a healthy economy, and it presents multiple business opportunities for all of us. We must start to see the nature as our ally in the coming days and in mitigating the problems. This is, of course, also the vision of the Ministry of Maritime. Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to take this opportunity to invite the Honorable Minister for Maritime Affairs, Pakistan. Please welcome Syed Faisal Ali Subzwari for his address.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Foreign Minister Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Amjad Khan Niazi, Chief Minister Sindh, Excellency, Senior Leadership of Armed Forces, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum and good morning. And it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of Ministry of Maritime Affairs, being partner with Pakistan Navy and Badar Expo in PIMEC. It is the first ever exhibition for maritime affairs in Pakistan. And certainly, it is a matter of great satisfaction to see you all, as well as 142 delegates from different countries and participants. Mr. Foreign Minister, sir, your presence on the occasion certainly highlights the importance you give to this particular sector, and the presence of Honorable Chief Minister Sindh here as well. Because for our foreign delegates, I would like to mention that Pakistan is a federation, and two of the most important ports of Pakistan are in the province of Sindh. And this time, I can certainly vouch that the federal government and the provincial government are trying to work in harmony, trying to work in a synchronized manner to offer best value from our ports, from our ocean, and for the blue economy. Certainly, since the blue economy is the subject here, it is aimed on two major elements, sir. First, the necessity of protecting and restoring existing ocean resources. That is the source of livelihood and food for billions. Whereas the second is to seek opportunities for enhanced or new sustainable economic activities derived from the oceans. So here, I would reiterate that the federal government of Pakistan strongly needs the support of our provincial governments in order to create an environment where not only the fishermen, not only the other stakeholders, but even our foreign investors clearly see the opportunity lying in Pakistan and see that people are working in cohesion for a better, sustainable ocean. So blue economy represents a new and interesting concept at all, both from economic potential and human sustenance aspects, but also that it can be used to reduce environmental degradation. I would again like to emphasize that Ministry of Maritime Affairs, with the help of Ministry of Climate Change and the provincial government, are trying to build new sewage treatment plants here for our ocean. We have engaged certain foreign partners, certain ocean cleanup startups for a better ocean, which would not only help reducing the environmental waste, the biological waste we witness in our oceans, but again, creating more and more opportunities. Distinguished guests, it is the need of the hour for us to focus on broadening the maritime horizons, especially with all-important CPAC and Gwadar port coming up. The requirements and the opportunities increased manifolds. It is therefore indispensable that events such as PIMEC are organized not only for raising maritime awareness, but also for harnessing our immense blue economy. The conduct of PIMEC will indeed open avenues to witness some of the latest global technology in the maritime industry. It will also set the stage for worldwide maritime industry to synergize businesses and forge economic cooperation. I would like to mention here that after several years, the government of Pakistan and Ministry of Maritime Affairs is offering at least 3 new terminals at different ports, from multi-purpose terminals to clean cargo bulk terminals, from containerized terminals. Through PIMEC, we can certainly offer our information to the international delegates who are interested here for B2B, for B2G, or rather the newly introduced G2G framework, which government of Pakistan has very recently passed. Ladies and gentlemen, PIMEC 2023 would facilitate public-private partnership to explore new avenues of cooperation and investments with the international maritime industry, stakeholders from hydrocarbon industries, coastal development, shipping, port infrastructure, fisheries, marine tourism, offshore renewable energy, aquaculture, seabed mining, and marine services will exhibit their potential under one roof. Honorable Chief Guest, it is worth mentioning that the International Maritime Conference being held as part of PIMEC under the title IMC 23. It is also significant to note that the mega event being undertaken by the National Institute of Maritime Affairs since 2007, and this event, which is graced by the large number of exhibitors and experts from industry, academia, eminent speakers and policymakers, and delegates around the world, has acquired a prestigious stature. I hope these deliberations would yield purposeful recommendations for economic integration and exploitation of our blue economic potential. Again, I would like to thank Pakistan Navy's leadership, Admiral Niazi, Chief of Naval Staff, Badar Expo, honorable ladies and gentlemen who are present here. We are here to seek more and more opportunities for Pakistan as a responsible country, Pakistan as a growing country, Pakistan as a resilient country. Long live Pakistan. Thank you.
His Excellency, the Honorable Minister for Maritime Affairs, Mr. Subzwari, thank you very much. And yet again, this is about fulfilling and living up to the true potential that the ocean presents to us. Just a little fun fact, ladies and gentlemen. If the ocean were a country, they would have been the 7th largest economy of the world. And therefore, it gives us the potential to continue harnessing the good fruits that they have. But now, the moment that we've all been waiting for, it is time to inaugurate the PIMEC 2023. For this, ladies and gentlemen, may I request the Honorable Chief Guest, the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari Sahab, to please head to the head table, to the stage. May I also request the Honorable Minister of Maritime Affairs, Syed Faisal Ali Subzwari, to please join him. May I also request the Honorable Syed Murad Ali Shah Sahab, the Chief Minister of Sindh, to please join them. And of course, may I also request Admiral Amjad Khan Niazi, 𝐏𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐂 Military, Chief of Naval Staff, to please join him up on stage. Our Honorable Chief Guest will now be placing his hand on the digital kiosk, which will formally open PIMEC 2023. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. With this, our Honorable Chief Guest has formally opened PIMEC 2023. As a token of our appreciation and gratitude, may I now request the Honorable Admiral Amjad Khan Niazi Sahab, the Nishan-e-Imtiaz Military Chief of Naval Staff, to present the PIMEC memento to the Honorable Chief Guest. Thank you, sir. May I now request the Honorable Chief Guest to address this august gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, for his address.
Federal Ministers, Chief of Naval Staff, Senior Leadership of the Armed Forces, delegates and exhibitors. Assalamu alaikum. It is a pleasure for me to address the inaugural ceremony of Pakistan International Maritime Exhibition and Conference 2023. I congratulate the Pakistan Navy, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Ministry of Maritime Affairs, and the National Institute of Maritime Affairs and other partners for the organization of this premier edition of the PIMEC in conjunction with the multinational maritime exercise AMAN. I extend a warm welcome to the participants of AMAN and PIMEC and representatives of academia, maritime stakeholders who will be enriching the deliberations of the International Maritime Conference. The idea of holding the first PIMEC, along with the Aman Exercise 2023, bears testimony to its inextricability and linkages between peace, security, and prosperity. The Aman Exercise remains the largest of its kind in the Western Indian Ocean. They symbolize Pakistan's vision of tackling maritime security challenges and realizing the shared objectives of peace and order at the sea through international cooperation and collaborative efforts. Likewise, building on the success of Aman, PIMEC can serve as a platform for shared prosperity and a gateway for international manufacturers and suppliers of maritime technologies to explore new avenues of cooperation through joint ventures, outsourcing, and collaborations. Ladies and gentlemen, as early as the 5th century BC, a Greek strategist noted, "Whoever can hold the seas has command of everything." This was a due recognition of the fact that the oceans have always been central to the sustenance of life on Earth. Apart from being a source of livelihood from times immemorial, living and non-living resources, oceans and seas have been conduits for travel, trade, and means of connecting civilizations. The contemporary global challenges of climate change reminds us of the significant role of oceans as regulators of natural climate, recyclers of the world's carbon dioxide, and a principal supplier of life-sustaining oxygen. Around 90% of global trade by volume and 70% by value travels via sea. This figure is a remarkable demonstration of not only the significance of maritime domain for international trade, but also of the interdependence of the global economies and the collective interests of all states to ensure that their approaches towards maritime security and the utilization of marine resources remain guided by the spirit of cooperation and collaboration. The Indian Ocean is an economic reservoir of natural resources, both living and non-living. It contains countless varieties of fish, deep sea minerals, and fossil fuels, in addition to the vast potential for tourism. Nearly half of the global seaborne trade and 70% of the global traffic of petroleum traverses through the Indian Ocean. The Northern Arabian Sea itself is a resource rich with immense potential to contribute towards Pakistan's economic development. Accordingly, the development of the blue economy is essential to realize this potential, especially in the areas of energy and food security and the exploration of mineral wealth. Development of efficient shipbreaking industry, transshipment ports, fisheries industry, coastal tourism, water sports, aquaculture are a few areas which merit our attention. We must also have more focus on conservation and sustainability so that we can not only benefit from our ocean resources, but also ensure sustainable benefit for future generations. To achieve maximum results, integration of public-private partnership amongst maritime industries is a must. New idea and entrepreneurship and management skills mastered by the private sector are indispensable for success in all public sector industries, including defense. The potential of academic and R&D organizations must be incorporated for enhancing efficiency and productivity for our maritime sector. At the government level, we will continue to strive and create a business and environment friendly, in an environment for investment in human capital and professional development in this demand-driven industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan carries out more than 95% of its trade via the sea. The economy of Pakistan is therefore wedded to sea-based commerce. Our vision of geoeconomics is built around Pakistan's ideal location to act as a hub of trade and energy connectivity and integration between Asia, Europe, and Africa. Our security and economic independence on the sea makes it necessary for Pakistan to build international partnerships in maritime domain for developing the blue economy and preserving the security of sea lines of communication against the threats posed by terrorism, piracy, drug trafficking, human smuggling, and arms proliferation. Pakistan has therefore been playing an active role in the combined task forces 150 and 151 against terrorism, piracy, and other illicit activities. Pakistan Navy has commanded these multinational task force on several occasions with distinction. As a party to the Law of the Sea Convention, Pakistan is strongly committed to the rights and obligations of states concerning the governance of oceans, their resources, navigation rights, and freedoms. The current global security environment is characterized by unprecedented challenges. There is a need to avoid exclusive geopolitical constructs that do not align with the historical, cultural, or geographical realities of the areas spanned by the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Humanity can ill afford divisive approaches in the face of formidable common challenges faced by all of us today. The traditional security threats are compounded by the challenges of pollution, environmental degradation, climate change, global warming, and rising sea levels. It is the primary responsibility of all states to ensure economic well-being of the people through a sustainable utilization of maritime resources while navigating these challenges. Given the enormity and global nature of the problems, cooperative and inclusive approaches will be required in the maritime domain. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by once again commending the efforts of the Minister of Maritime Affairs and the personal interests of the Chief of Naval Staff for taking this initiative to organize the PIMEC and exhibit the best of Pakistan's maritime sector. I hope that this landmark event will provide an opportunity to meaningfully engage for the promotion of international cooperation and progress. I'm sure that the platform of the International Maritime Conference will be effectively utilized for in-depth deliberations of the issues I have outlined briefly. I thank you all. Pakistan Zindabad.
Ladies and gentlemen, with these wonderful words and of course ambitions and ideas for the upcoming event, we are now open, and the next 2 days we hope that there will be much deliberation. But at this occasion, at the maiden event now being open, we would love to have a photograph that commemorates all those who are here. For this, once again, ladies and gentlemen, may I request the Honorable Chief Guest, the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari Sahab, to join us for this group photograph. May I also request Syed Faisal Ali Subzwari, the Minister of Maritime Affairs, to join us for this. Also, may I request Syed Murad Ali Shah Sahab, the Chief Minister of Sindh, to please join us for this photograph. And last but definitely not the least, may I also request Admiral Amjad Khan Niazi, Nishan-e-Imtiaz Military Chief of Naval Staff, to please come together for a photograph. May I also request the very diligent PIMEC team to come together for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to all our distinguished guests. Their presence and participation definitely alludes on the importance of maritime and PIMEC for Pakistan and for the partnering institutions and countries and organizations.